This was me yesterday. So if this is you now, this was you yesterday, or this is ever you, and you found this video because you want to get some tips on maybe not feeling or looking quite as tragic as this, then you are in the right place. My name is Molly. I do mental health and lifestyle videos on this channel, and I am the lucky owner of multiple mental health disorders. If you are new here, I'll just do the rundown just real quick. So I have suffered from OCD since I was about 8 years old. I have had suffered with severe depressive episodes. I have complex PTSD, I think they call it, so it's CPTSD. I have had a eating disorder, or do have disordered eating, and it's something that I work on every day. And I also have BPD. So that is me, they are my problems. And so if you're feeling unusual or weird, or like you don't fit in, or like you're the only one, I promise you, you are not. I am here out there fighting for multiple different disorders, and also disorders that I don't actually have myself, because we all need to have awareness. What I wanted to talk about today specifically was what to do on a really bad day. I've had a bad week, okay? I got triggered by something that I wasn't expecting to be triggered by at the beginning of the week, which had a massive effect for the rest of the week. I found it difficult to get up, I found it difficult to think, I found it difficult not to just go into a panic attack. I have found it difficult eating. It's just not been a great week. And then to top it all off, yesterday, I've been trying to keep everything in, carrying this feeling of just like I was going to explode. And then to top it off, yesterday, we got some really bad news about a place that we were meant to be moving into that we're now not moving into. And our whole plan of what we were doing is just being completely torn up, and we've had to make a new plan. And I know that for anybody, change or a massive disruption can be difficult. It's especially difficult for people who suffer with mental illness. In my experience, I struggle with it, and then I just exploded. I feel so sorry for my boyfriend, who is amazing, but I just lost it. Everything that I've been thinking, every emotion, every guilty feeling, angry feeling, just exploded, just came out. I couldn't breathe. I was hysterical crying. For somebody that has so many mental health disorders, I don't physically cry that often. I find it difficult crying in front of people. I find it difficult even in awkward situations. At my mum's funeral, I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I physically couldn't cry. And so yeah, it's not that often that tears come. Oh, but they came, they didn't stop. I said some really, it wasn't nasty things towards him, but really probably upsetting things for him to hear, because he cares about me. And yeah, it lasted for about 2.5 hours of just not wanting to talk, not being able to speak without crying after my outburst. And then we got there, we sat down, we talked, and in reality, the solution is not as difficult as I had built it up in my head. It's not what we wanted, but it's also not the worst position that we could be in. So that was my week. And today I woke up and I thought, I just feel rubbish. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just going to stay in bed, or I'm going to get up, stay in my pajamas, stay on the couch, and that's it. And then I thought, no, that's the worst thing that you can do. It's the weekend. If I waste my 2 days off work, by the end of the week, I'll set myself up for a really other crappy week. So I was thinking, what can I do to make me feel better? What do I do, or what do I recommend to make me feel better? So one of the biggest tips for me personally, when I'm in a really bad place, is just to make a list. Now, it doesn't have to be a written out, neat, art designed list, because at the end of the day, you're either going to get distracted doing that and do nothing else, or it's going to put you off doing it. I literally have just written a small list in the corner of this page. And don't put big things on the list on days that you feel like you don't even want to get out of bed, because motivation is so important, and sometimes that's how to get jobs done. But if you are struggling to even get out of bed, the chances of you finishing a list of 50 items and then feeling great at the end of it is pretty slim. So this is my list for today. I put get dressed, tidy up, put some makeup on, water, brush my teeth, edit, film, and paint my nails. Now, the reason I put simple tasks on there is because if you're struggling with your mental health, sometimes the simplest tasks are the hardest. But if you can put them down, separate them one task at a time, and then tick them off when you're doing it, you still get that rewarding feeling of completing the task. So I got up, sat on the couch for a bit, ruminated, and then I was like, no, I know what I'm going to do. So I tidied round so that I had a clear head. That is one of my other tips. If you're struggling, tidying and cleaning can seem like an impossible task. But if you can separate that task even into small tasks, for example, I'll just get up and I'll go do the dishes and then I'll sit back down. Or I'll just put that wash on and then I'll sit back down. You will find that you end up getting a momentum, and sitting in a mess, it, for me anyway, completely scrambles my brain. I can't think straight if there's a messy room and I'm sitting in it. I won't do anything. So I tidied round, which made me feel significantly better than I did when I was sitting there. Then I got out of my pajamas, which did help. Another thing, get dressed. All I put on was this jumper and a pair of leggings. But the difference that makes from being sat slunched in pajamas and dressing down is massive. Don't underestimate getting dressed. Even that's a massive tip for working from home as well. I think we've all got into a bit of a rut. A lot of people will just stay in pajamas all day. You don't need to put a suit and tie on. Just get dressed. It makes a massive difference. And I know if you're in a state like I was yesterday, you're probably thinking, I physically can't do it. But if you can just make that the one task for the day, that's all you need to do. Just get dressed and then sit back on the couch. It's like a snowball effect. You'll do one thing and you might feel a bit more motivated to do the other. So getting dressed is massive. Decided to put makeup on because, again, I'm more productive when I've put makeup on. I'm not saying that everybody needs to go out and put makeup on. Some people don't even wear makeup. So this is not a tip for everyone. As I said, this is just my list of things that help me. But putting makeup on makes me so much more motivated, and it also helped me with this task, which is filming my video, because I've got dressed, I've put my makeup on, so I feel more ready to film. If I didn't put the makeup on, I wouldn't have filmed. So that's where the rolling ball effect comes from, because it's taking little steps to get to another task. So if I'd not got up and got dressed and put my makeup on, I wouldn't be sat here filming. But now I'm sat here filming because I felt like I could, because I completed those steps. It took me longer than it would have if I was feeling 100% fantastic, but I don't think I ever feel 100% fantastic. No, that's a lie. I do. That's negative thoughts. Another tip, those negative thoughts that you have, you need to challenge them. And I don't mean that you're going to just be able to say, like, there's a YouTuber, Marie Rose, I'll link her in the top here. I know that she talks about eating disorders. She talks about a lot of mental health stuff. She's amazing. But she recently has been talking about a bit more about her eating disorders, and she said that a massive tip for her was that when she would have a thought, she would basically just tell the thought off. And she practiced this. So whenever she got one of those thoughts, she'd be like, just fuck off, basically. And over, the more you do something like that, the more natural it becomes. So if you're having a negative thought, like, I can't do this, it sounds stupid and I hate stuff like this, but just say, yeah, I can. You don't have to say out loud. Just say, no, I can't. Challenge the thought. It is so important, because those little thoughts are your core beliefs. They make up your core belief. That's why they come so naturally. If you're having so many negative thoughts throughout the day, then that shows that your core belief about yourself, or about what you bring to the world, or about your worth, your self-worth, is really bad. So you need to reteach your core belief system. So if you have a bad thought, challenge that with a positive one. The more you do that, the more you'll change those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. It's a long process. It's not easy. And some days you're just going to wallow in self-pity, and that's okay. But some days, not multiple days, not every day, not for months on end, And I know it's hard. And I'm sitting here telling you that I had a really bad day yesterday, despite being on my medication and despite going through therapy. So I'm not here to tell you that these tasks are just going to fix your depression or fix your life or your mental health completely. But these are just things that I use on a daily basis when I can and when I'm feeling fit enough to do so, to make me feel better and to help me get through the day. And sometimes that's what it's about, it's just getting through the day. You know, some days you're going to wake up and feel crap. Some days you're gonna have panic attacks. Some days you're gonna forget to care for yourself. But if you can implement just small tasks, even if you have to make yourself a daily rota, this is something that I used to do. So I would put, say for example, on here, so we've got Monday, Tuesday, I would put get up, get dressed. And I would put get up on the list. So get up, get dressed, brush teeth, eat, drink some water, go for a walk. And it's something about having it on the paper. And people laugh when you say, oh yeah, so I put get up on the list, but it's something you can tick off. If you've managed to get yourself out of bed when you feel so unbelievably rubbish, you should feel proud of yourself. So you should be able to tick that off and feel like you've accomplished something, because you have. So writing that small task, that it's key, just small tasks that you can complete, and those small tasks throughout the day will add up to a day. So then even if you've only got through that day, you can look and think, I can do that tomorrow. And so I do think keeping a routine in times of severe depression or anxiety or low mental health can make such a difference, and it doesn't have to be difficult tasks. And you also don't have to feel bad if you don't complete one of the tasks or you move one of the tasks to the next day. It's just about having something to follow, to show that you've achieved something, to so you can do things. And I just think, and as much as some people won't understand how big getting through a single day is to someone, it is massive. The last thing I really think can be really important is for more severe days of depression or low mood. So if you're starting to have feelings of self-harm, if you're starting to have suicidal thoughts, if you're really not in a good place and you're concerned about your own or somebody else's safety, speak to someone. It's so important that you speak to someone in those moments, because those moments won't last forever, but certain things that your mental health may cause you to do to yourself will. I have been in the darkest times so many times and never reached out to people, and I look back now and I think I really wish that I had. So reaching out is massive. Not everybody has friends or family that they can speak to or that they can reach out to, and I am fully aware of that, but there are so many helpful free organisations and numbers that you can call, and they will speak to you for as long as you need to. There's 24-hour hotlines. I know that when you're in that moment of complete and utter despair or helplessness, speaking to someone, what are they going to be able to do? I used to think this all the time. How can they help me? They're not even here. They can't do anything. But if you can talk to someone on the phone for 2-3 hours about how you're feeling, why you're feeling like that, completely unjudged, get it completely off your chest, you might find that in 4 hours time, you still don't feel like ending your life. You did in that moment, but you don't now. Or just talking can distract from other destructive behaviours like self-harm. Talk to someone instead. It's putting it off until you don't need to do it anymore in that moment is massive. So I will leave as many organisations and numbers as I can find down below in the description. I know this was a bit of a different video today, but I felt a bit better talking to you guys, even though I'm just talking to a camera. I felt a little bit better. I feel hopeful that this might help someone. I have my social medias on the screen here. This is my this is my normal Instagram, and then this is my mental health Instagram. I do a lot of mental health content over here. This is just me and my life. And I'm always open to questions on either of my social media or in the comment section down below. If you've got any tips or things that really help you on bad days, please leave them down below. Let's help other people. More information down there, the better. Please do like and subscribe. It really does help get the channel out there to more people. If you've got any suggestions of any videos that you want to see or any topics you want me to cover, please just leave them in the comments down below. But for now, wherever that you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, day or night, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.